Hey, what's up, team? It's Coop. I'm going to hop on here and talk to you guys about gamma exposure, aka GEX, and how it can help you decide where the market's going to go. It's not going to give you a 100% accurate analysis of where the market's going to go, but it gives you a pretty dang good idea. So let's just go straight into kind of these thesis style alerts I've been doing for you guys early in the morning and throughout the day. So one thing I want to mention about gamma is kind of how it works. So right here you can see how SPX is moving. Right here around 5,900 we have a lot of positive gamma, which means market makers are going to sell into rips and buy into dips. So what that means is if price is falling into a positive gamma area, then it's most likely going to be that the price is going to be stuck in that area and then look for a potential bounce. And if it's ripping into that area, look for a potential sell-off from that area after some consolidation. So why we know this is because, as you can see here, around 5,900, there's a lot of positive gamma, meaning that market makers, it's falling into this area of a lot of positive gamma, so they're going to buy the dip. So as you can see here, it worked out really well. Potential bounce from 5,900 targeting negative gamma at 5,920. So whenever gamma is negative, market makers are going to buy into rips and sell into dips. So it's the complete opposite. So it's going to increase volatility in the market, and it's going to tell you that there's going to be a little bit of a bigger move whenever there's a bunch of negative gamma. So for example, here at 5,900, we can expect a bounce because the market makers are going to buy the dip all the way up into 5,920, 5,940. Just because there's a lot of negative gamma here, we can see that there's going to be more volatility once we bounce into this zone, which we did. Down here is where we alerted the potential bounce, and then we hit all the way up to 5,925. So that's going to be right up here into this huge negative gamma wall. I'm not sure where it went from here. I think I got pretty busy, but I'm pretty sure it ripped all the way up into our negative gamma like we expected. So next, this was at the open. So I personally like to look at gamma exposure at the open. It kind of helps me determine a bias for the day. And I was personally bearish here because, as you can see, we just wicked into this 5,900 zone. So at 5,900, there's a ton of positive gamma, which means that the market makers are going to sell the rip. So they're selling the rip here at 5,900, right here. They're going to sell that rip, and we're going to fall down into these areas of negative gamma exposure around 5,885. So as you can see here, that's kind of where I got my bias for the day, is because we had this huge zone here, and then we had a lot of negative gamma below. So I was bearish. I think we see a nice move down through 5,885, targeting 5,870. So not too long after that, around 8:36 or 9:36 Eastern, we fell into 5,885, and then we saw 5,875 not very long after. So this could have been a good opportunity for you to get into long puts, just because we know once the market moves into that area of positive gamma exposure, the market makers are going to do the opposite. So they're going to sell or they're going to buy. So whenever we moved up into this 5,900 zone, they sold into the rip. So that's pretty much, it's really simple how gamma exposure works. This is this program that I'm using is called Unusual Whales Periscope. It's like a $10 add-on to the usual Unusual Whales subscription. It's really handy. I use it quite a bit. I use it in my everyday trading, actually. But yeah, that's kind of how gamma exposure works. Just remember what negative gamma means and positive gamma means. And it kind of tells you where your support and resistance zones are going to be and other stuff like that, kind of telling you how the market's going to move and react. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Been killing it lately, just doing this analysis stuff. Fewer trades, but been super busy moving into a new house. I had my birthday this month, some other stuff like that, but planning on doing some more crypto alerts and stuff like that. My server Market Vision's just keeping on growing with analysts and people, and I'm super appreciative. But yeah, let's see what I set up here. Oh, okay, so this is a great example of where you could sell options. So right here you can see huge positive gamma around 5,950 to 5,965. And right here, there's a ton of positive gamma from 59.35 all the way down to 59.10. So this gave us a pretty good idea of that we were going to be range bound in this negative gamma zone. So personally, what I would do is I would sell 2 options, meaning that we are going to be range bound and we're going to profit if price stays between 59.50 and 59.35. So I'll do another video on selling options at some point. But pretty much there's options where you're long, there's options where you're long call, long short. There's also options on SPX where you're short call and short put. So if you're short a call, then your bias is actually bearish. If you're short a put, then your bias is actually bullish. But we're not going to get into that right now. Like, as you can see here, we were just completely range bound, and we would have made huge profit if we would have taken not a directional SPX call, but a non-directional call, which meaning that we're going to stay between those 2 zones, and that's how we're going to profit by selling on theta decay. So that's kind of why gamma exposure is so helpful, is just because of this. I mean, we could have made decent profit just by selling options, just because we know whenever we're getting into this positive gamma, they're going to sell. Whenever we're getting into this positive gamma, they're going to buy, because they sell into rips and buy into dips. It's very simple. I highly recommend that you guys implement it into your everyday trading. But if you guys have any questions, my DMs are always open. This is the only Coop account. CoopDH on Discord. Pretty much the only way to reach me. CoopDH Trades on Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to join my server, discord.gg/marketvision. Got really good analysts in here. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of what I wanted to come on here and talk about. So appreciate you guys tuning in if you're still watching. And we'll see you guys in the next one whenever we talk about selling options. Thanks, guys.